Did you feel like your energy levels took a nosedive right about the age of 45? And the thought of boosting your metabolism to burn more calories and lose that weight seems tied to endless hours at the gym working out. Hours you frankly don't have to fit in your schedule. Well, you're not alone. Just as perimenopause starts to really kick it into gear, our hormones are fluctuating, our energy takes a vacation, and we start to gain that midlife middle. Of course, we think, okay, crazy cardio or extreme diets. But I'm here to tell you, neither is necessary. By adding in little extra movement throughout our day, it not only burns more calories, but it boosts our energy levels. We can be the Energizer Bunny. Now, if you're shouting at the screen saying, but I already am juggling so much, how am I going to fit this in? Stick around because I'm going to share the secret that's been right under our noses all along. All thanks to something called NEAT. So what is NEAT? NEAT stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It's basically all the calories you burn during normal, everyday activities. If you watch the Netflix show How to Live to 100, you notice that all the different blue zone cultures, their lives involve a lot of just extra movement throughout the day. They're not sitting much, they're using their hands to prepare meals, they're walking. They just have a natural amount of exercise throughout the day, but none of it involves a gym. So how can we make NEAT work for us after age 45? And before you say you're too busy, this involves no extra time. You heard me right. I have a few tricks up my sleeve that are so easy that you'll be amazed that you haven't already done them. So the first way is sneaking in more steps. If you haven't jumped on the bandwagon yet, I'd highly recommend you get some way to measure your steps. I have a Fitbit. There's lots of high-tech to low-tech options. Just pick one and then measure how many steps you're getting on an average week. How many day-to-day steps are you? Set your goal at about 500 steps more than your average and challenge yourself to up your game. Now, of course, the easiest way to do this that also helps your sleep and your mental state and gives you a little energy is do a little walk in the morning. I love this first thing in the morning, getting the sunshine on my eyes. It wakes me up. But I get it. If you don't have time, find a time during the day to just take a walk around the block. Don't make it where it has to be a long session because then you might not have time for it. Just a simple walk will do. And then another trick I have, of course you've heard park the furthest way out and walk to the stores. I also want you to be inefficient. And what I mean by that is, you've seen the challenges of bringing in the groceries. How many sacks can you get on your arms? That might be great strength training, but it doesn't get you enough steps. Be inefficient. Take one bag at a time. And as you're putting up those groceries, one item at a time, walk back and forth. And just getting that task done, you're getting a little bit of extra steps in. And I also do this with laundry. I don't try to get it all in one swoop. Maybe take a few at a time to the bedroom and then hang up one, walk back. And this adds up extra steps throughout my day, doing things I was already doing, just a little extra steps in there so that I'm inefficient doing the task, but I am sneaking in that NEAT. And another simple way to add in steps is after you go to the restroom, take a lap around your living room or around your office, just a little bit of extra steps every time you go to the bathroom. And if you're like me and you go several times a day, this adds up. And as I've gradually increased my step count, I've noticed, because I track on my Fitbit, I am sleeping a little better. I notice my resting heart rate comes down. I'm having more energy throughout the day. And it's a good stress reliever. I like to book in my work day, go for a walk in the morning and in the evening right before dinner. I really feel like that is helping my morale and helping my energy. And when I first got my Fitbit, I did set it at that 10,000 steps per day goal, and I drove myself crazy trying to get that. So now my goal is about 8,000. And you know what happens? Some days I get 8,000, some days I get 11,000, and I've been averaging 10,000 steps a day. So having that smaller goal, but overreaching it some days and just meeting the minimum some days makes me feel better, and overall, I'm still hitting that 10,000 steps a day. So I'm curious, what is your step count goal? Tell me in the comments. If you're not quite ready to take that outdoor walk to try to boost your energy, I've got a guide that has 7 habits to put the spring back in your step, to boost some of that energy. And I've got the details in the caption below. Now you might be thinking, yeah, Jenny, these tips sound great, but what if it's cold outside or rainy or I just don't want to go outside? How can this work? Believe me, I know, because I noticed during the winter my step count took a nosedive. It was just too tempting to stay all warm and cozy, all cuddled up at my desk or on the couch. I noticed that when I was extra intentional about adding in these extra steps, taking a few extra laps around my living room or going to a store and doing some walking there, that I no longer had that afternoon slump of energy, and I didn't feel like I needed a nap later in the evening. Trust me, movement creates energy, not the opposite. We think we have to have energy to do the movement, but the movement actually is what generates that energy. So find ways to add a little extra steps to your routine. After adding in more steps, there's another way to add a little neat to your day to transform how you feel. And this one's so simple, you're going to be like, why did I not think of this sooner? And this is varying your positions. It's not all about walking more, it's changing your positions, getting your body used to different ways of movement, changing when you stand, when you sit, maybe you get on the floor. Like I've told you in a previous video, my daughters called me out when I said I was too old to get down on the floor. The day you say that, then that's the day you stop being able to get on the floor. So I want you to practice sitting on the floor, getting up, sitting in your chair, standing for long periods of time. Doing all 3 throughout the day is going to give you that flexibility and build in a little exercise that doesn't seem to count but makes a difference. This could look like using a standing desk or putting your laptop on a higher surface and stand for a while. Stand while watching a TV show, or maybe even sit on the floor while you're reading a book or doing a task. Practice moving from different position to position, and your body's going to thank you. I added in the last 2 months, standing for more of my Zoom meetings. I can take notes just fine, and I've noticed that I don't even get tired of standing anymore because my attention's focused on the Zoom meeting, and I'm just burning a few more calories by standing up. And then one extra tip that's going to be so easy to implement: when you grab your phone to start scrolling social media, say, I'll stroll while I scroll. So I walk or pace while I'm scrolling social media. It's getting me a few extra steps, a little bit of movement, and it kind of makes me limit my time on social media. So that might be another way to add in some of that neat and kind of curb that bad habit of scrolling and losing time. I've noticed doing these small changes, I'm not as stiff as I get up from my desk at the end of the day because I haven't sat there all day like this. And I have energy more to have fun in the evenings. And now that spring's coming, I want to have active time outside. So I don't want the desk job to be draining me throughout the day. So try varying positions and see how that feels for you. And one little bonus of standing more and moving is it sparks your creativity. You can think of new ideas when you're standing or even walking. I have some of my best ideas in that short walk around the block. Now, if you're saying, okay, I've tried all these things, but I need something when I'm stuck at my desk, I've got you covered. This last neat trick was something we were told in school that was bad, but I want you to bring it back, and that's fidgeting. Yes, I said it right. Fidgeting. It might seem small, like tapping your foot, playing with your hair, tapping on the desk, doing drum rolls, bouncing your leg, or shifting in your chair. You can even do just like little desk exercises. Seems small, but it adds up. So go ahead and find ways to fidget. It's good for you. Every bit of movement adds up, especially after 45 as perimenopause and we transition to menopause. You've got to fit this in. By embracing neat, you're increasing your steps, you're varying your positions, and you're fidgeting. You're improving your mobility, burning a few extra calories, and boosting your energy. After you get this locked in, you see that it doesn't require extra time. Then I want you to add in some strength building exercises because those are also important as we age. If you like this video, you want to watch this video where I teach you how to build a body to grow old in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Together, we're redefining what it means to age stronger, one baby step at a time.